Good evening, students. We are initiating the fifth chapter, that is non renewable energy sources. As far as the demand of energy is associated, it increases with the increasing population. As it means the demand for energy is increasing at a much faster rate than the growth of population in today's scenario, and it has been happening from last so many years, precisely in the years of in between the years of 1950 to 1990, and it is still continuing. As far as the types of energy sources are concerned, energy sources can be classified into two primary categories. We have already gone through renewable energy sources. This time we are going to discuss more about your non-renewable energy sources. Renewable sources that we have discussed included hydropower, wind energy, solar energy. These sources have been discussed, and all these sources are also basically, when we talk about non-renewable sources, they include coal, petroleum, and natural gas. And they are also called exhaustible sources just because of the reason that these sources of energy can be exhausted if it is being used time and again. So, to begin with, we will be discussing coal, which is one of the most primary source of energy, and it is being used from quite some time, maybe when it was discovered. Being an organic rock and a combustible one, it is mainly composed of carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen, commonly known as hydrocarbon as well. And this being the largest conventional fossil fuel that is there in the existence and is being used primarily by all the countries throughout the world. It is also used in steel manufacturing plants, thereafter fertilizers. It is used in medicinal purposes as well, pesticides. So if you see, this is one of the primary source of energy of exhaustible nature. If we look into how many types of coals are there, formation of coal takes place in stages. You must be knowing a little bit about how fossil fuels are they come into existence. In every stage, coal is assigned a name, and if we see features of all the stages, they are completely different from one another. It is called peat. To bifurcate and to know about peat, before plant material is converted into coal, it forms a dark brown organic matter which is known as peat, and it has got low carbon content and a very high moisture content. But the coal derives its heating power from carbon, as we are already aware. So peat is the beginning of the formation of coal. If we are able to dry it fully, it can burn, but the heat which is generated is very low. Therefore, it is not an efficient fuel source. As far as the other source or the other uh, type of coal is concerned, it is lignite. With time, more layers are accumulated over the peat. Because of that fuel which is being generated. As the burden goes on thickening, because the layers are being accumulated, the moisture is driven out, moisture goes outwards, and the carbon content starts increasing, and this matter is called lignite. Then there are bituminous coal. With time, the carbon content goes on increasing, especially in the lignite, and the coal is formed. The coal is soft in nature, and they are known as bituminous coal. The most efficient one, anthracite, is the last stage of coal formation. The process of increasing carbon content in bituminous coal, because it is on the increasing stage, first peat, then lignite, then bituminous, and last the anthracite. It is the hardest form of the coal with maximum of carbon content, and the content is almost 87% carbon with 9% ash and 4% volatile matter. It gives us enormous heat and releases very less amount of smoke. So the heat value is twice as compared to that of the lignite. We will be knowing a little bit about the coal mining. The mining of coal, uh, basically the extraction part is from the surface of the earth, depending upon the depth of the coal. There are two methods that are employed to extract coal, and the first one being the surface mining, and the other being the underground mining. So surface mining is the method which is employed when the coal seams are very shallow, that is, they are not in depth. So surface mining involves various techniques like open pit mining, drift mining, and there are other uh, processes like contour mining, auger mining, slope mining. So the open pit mining is the most popular technique, and it is also called strip mining. So this is one of the prevalent methods of extracting coal. Amongst the other difference, or the other way of mining being the underground mining, this method is employed when coal seams are placed deep inside the earth. Therefore upper strata is not removed to extract the coal. A vertical shaft is dug, एक सुरंग खोदी जाती है, okay, and that it is on the shaft is made just beside the mine, and the outer surface of the earth that descends down to the coal seam. Different techniques are involved in the underground mining, um, that are conventional as well, and long wall mining and your continuous mining, then pillar mining. All these are involved. These are the various processes of mining. You need not to know the depth analysis of it, but these are the processes which are adopted in those type of minings, and the conventional mining is the most popular technique, which is also known as cyclic mining. Okay, so the various operations which are associated with this kind of a mining is ventilation, then your cutting, then drilling, blasting, all these are involved in it. So as far as underground mining is concerned, this is something which is in depth. Then we will be knowing something about your uses of coal. Most of the coal that is burnt is to make electricity. We are already aware of this fact, and still it is being used for that. So when coal is burned, it generates heat, and that heat is used to convert water into electricity. Those who must have seen movie Swadesh of Shah Rukh Khan, you must have seen that he is a scientist from NASA. He returned back to India, and he persuaded the small village peoples where they were staying to generate electricity in their own village. So, this was the kind of arrangement which he tried and persuaded to the village of that particular movie. The steam where it is pressurized to rotate the turbine. You must have seen maybe in Discovery, maybe in some movie, maybe in some channel like that, and maybe the pictorial figure is also having a clarity. Thus, electricity is generated out of it. So, coal, which is also used in steel industry, coal is the first material which is heated to convert it into coke, and then coke is almost pure carbon. As you know, the heat is generated because of the carbon content of the coal, which is itself a hydrocarbon. So a mixture, a lot of chemistry in it, isn't it? And then a mixture is made of that iron ore, coke, and limestone, which is heated to make iron. So during this process of coke formation, various types of gases are released, then which are used in various industries like fertilizer industry and then pesticide industry, then medicine. So many techniques are employed to convert coal into gaseous form, and that can be transported and used as a fuel. Okay, so we will be knowing about the uses of coal because the demand for coal has been increasing from a number of years. But looking into the uses of coal, there are certain environmental issues, okay, and they are the hazard, isn't it? Carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide, which is a byproduct, certainly have a environmental problem which is associated with it. So we have we have just talked about mining of coal. Surface mining removes large vegetation cover to extract coal, and it leads to the exposure of underneath rocks, which gives a bad shape to the topography and soil erosion. So surface water from the mining area can carry sulfur. So sulfur dioxide might be the other gas which is very harmful for the uh, environment. So bearing compounds to adjoining rivers, isn't it? So that region is gets disturbed. So in underground mining, there is a fear of collapsing or sinking of a mine, isn't it? So a lot of coal and rock waste is dumped randomly, and weathering of waste material can produce alkaline compounds. So in a way, it is having those issues which might be topographical, which might be sinking, isn't it? So as far as that is concerned, it is certainly having a side effect which you can say. Then using coal, whenever coal is used, it has to be burned. So the burning of coal leads to harmful emissions, which is capable of damaging the environment. Carbon dioxide, monoxide, as we already discussed and you might be knowing, has a big environmental problem which is associated. So other pollutants also adversely affect the air while in this process of extracting and using that coal. And one of the key features or key side effects is acid rain. It is another big problem that is associated with burning of coal. So the coal contains sulfur in it. When coal burns, the sulfur in it combines with oxygen to form sulfur dioxide, and then this sulfur dioxide reacts with the moisture which is present in the air to form sulfuric acid. So you are well aware of the fact sulfuric acid is one of the strongest acid which is available, and this gets created because of the environmental issues related to burning of coal. And if that acid is being coming in the form of raindrops, it is certainly going to give us hazards. So the raindrops brings acid back to the earth, which is called acid rain. And that's why, many of the times your parents advise you not to uh, go outside while it is first few days of raining, because those rain might contain raindrops which is carrying sulfuric acid, and it might burn, it might have a side effect which is associated with that kind of an acid rain. So, uses of coal mining, which we have read in length today, this is an exhaustible source of energy. That's why we call it non-renewable source of energy, which cannot be renewed. So, I think this is enough for this particular session. Uh, Go through it in your book, go through the video as well, and this is something which we need to imbibe, because environmental issues are one of the key issues that is being hazardous to the humanity, and we all need to follow it in an appropriate way, that we do not use non-renewable energy sources in a big way. We need to find out more ways to use renewable energy sources and limit our use of non-renewable energy sources to bare minimum. Okay, good day, students.